School Quiz Bowl, one of those clubs stereotypically inhabited by nerds and geeks. But who actually makes up Michigan's Quiz Bowl teams?
At a recent tournament, of the 8 highest-scoring high school teams, only 3 had any female players. In terms of individual performance, you have to go down to the 36th best player to find a girl, and of the top 50 players at that tournament, only 6 were female. When 12 Michigan teams were asked about their gender ratios, no team had a female majority. Overall, the teams were 80% male and 20% female. One team had no female players.
It's befuddling to many coaches why the gender disparity has persisted. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, girls regularly outperform boys in school. 6 out of 10 low academic achievers in developed countries are male. Some coaches and players chalk it up to social stigma or the tendency of most players to join the team because their friends are on it. I spoke to a doctoral candidate at the University of Michigan to learn more.
So my name is Jennifer Rubin. I am a doctoral candidate in the departments of Psychology and Women's Studies at University of Michigan. So gender really structures everything in our world, and especially when we're growing up and we're interacting with our peers. So since birth, we know that young men are really kind of trained or kind of groomed to think of themselves as assertive, have intellectualism really associated with that. Young women are really taught to be passive and maybe not assert themselves so much in the classroom. And that's really setting up early on kind of the appropriate behaviors or the appropriate activities that young boys and young girls learn from an early age. That competition is highly gendered. So we know that a masculinity structures life for men. So I could see that also carrying over to a quiz bowl setting, and gender is relational, so thinking how young women fit within this environment that's very much structured around this idea, I would say, of masculinity in and of itself. So when you are a minority within a larger group, so let's say that you're one of just a handful of women within a male-dominated area, failure can be associated with having perceptions of your group be challenged or being seen as negative, right? So if you have a woman that maybe consistently doesn't get the right answer, she might also be worried about how that reflects on women at large or women at large within the quiz bowl setting.
This lack of self-confidence pervades our society.
So Turner, do you think that you're smart?
Nope. No.
I wouldn't say that I'm smart, I just work hard in school.
So what does it mean to be smart? According to researchers from the University of Illinois, Princeton, and NYU, your answer depends more on gender than you may think. In their study, 400 children between the ages of 5 and 7 were told a story about a really, really smart person without identifying the person's gender. At the age of 5, boys and girls were equally likely to identify the smart person as someone of their own gender. At the age of 6, however, both genders were more likely to identify the smart person as a male. Many researchers connect this disparity to differences in parental expectations. In a 2014 study, researchers found that parents Google, "Is my son a genius?" twice as often as "Is my daughter a genius?" This difference in expectations can severely negatively affect females throughout their lifetime. Careers traditionally associated with smartness are generally male-dominated. Extracurriculars like Quiz Bowl experience a severe lack of female participants, and women just don't see themselves as smart. But there's some hope. In The Confidence Code, journalists and psychologists Katty Kay and Claire Shipman tie personal perceptions of smartness to levels of self-assurance and how young girls are societally expected to be good. Thus, they begin to channel their actions into aim-to-please behaviors. The authors propose paying special attention to boosting confidence in young girls to positively affect them later in life. They also propose discouraging self-consciousness and encouraging self-assuredness. Society has a long way to go to fix our perceptions of who is smart and who is not. But the picture isn't as dire as it may seem.
So Peyton, do you think that you're smart?
Yes. I think I'm smart.
Yeah.
Relatively, I guess, kind of.